even affect.
No one really cares. They'll take it down anyway.
Okay, before we start, can we talk about this real quick? I have to pour another drink because I feel like some shade just happened. Does anybody else feel like shade just happened?
Shade?
Where?
So like, Erykah Badu like just left the building.
No, she was saying her drink was her battery was about to die. She was saying that for a minute.
Yeah, she's been saying that. Her phone probably died.
No, she said at the beginning that she was on an iPad.
Yeah, and then she said her iPad was dying.
I don't know. Maybe
But she was streaming it.
too much rose. But I was just like, it feels like shade. And her feed did not have Jill Scott on it.
Shade. No, she had a separate feed.
Yeah, she had a separate feed.
But it said cool. It had a separate feed that was just showing her.
Which is not cool. So I say
Erykah was high and didn't really understand exactly what.
No, she knows exactly what's going on. Erykah Badu has been monetizing the quarantine the best. Like,
she's been
really?
Sure.
Yeah.
Like, she had a live concert. She was like one of the first people to do it.
And okay. The whole thing. Sean, what's good?
Is that Charming Kinder over there? On mute, still talking?
It sure is, the one and only.
Hey everybody, what's up?
I feel like this is my first time meeting all of you except Cameron.
Hi. Well, first, before we meet everybody, because we're going live, this is part of the live stream. I don't even know whether it's 6 or 600. Thank you everybody for joining. This is your boy, Mr. Hip Politics, Cameron Calvin. We've got a nice little group to talk about what I think was top 3, maybe top 2 live Instagram battles. We'll talk about that. But 2 icons, music legends, Miss Jill Scott, Miss Erykah Badu, went song for song for well into 3 hours.
3 hours.
Solid. Well, really more like 2.5 because 2 hours because they didn't get started till like 7:25. They started late. But if you were watching Jill Scott,
Lauryn Hill was the opening act and she never showed up.
But people introduce themselves. This is really just a free kind of just a free spirited discussion. I think I have every song laid out, and I would love to get us to talk about what we thought went back and forth. They called it a love fest and not a battle. Yes. But in true hip hop like culture fashion, this was still, I was comparing song to song. So we got different guests that are going to be joining throughout. If you talk, just please introduce yourself real quick. Not a long intro, just your name and maybe what you do as different people tune in. So again, it's your boy, Mr. Cameron Calvin, Mr. Hip Politics. Welcome everybody. What's going on? How was this battle? Oh my God.
That was amazing. Love that.
I just feel loved. I feel like all cozy. It's like that whole live was like a weighted blanket around my heart. Just warm and fuzzy and blackety black. I loved every bit of it.
Right.
Hey, Black people.
You ever stole a hotel room? That's what it felt like.
Hi. I need to go and turn some light on. Y'all have to wait. I had a whole mood.
We will wait on you.
I had a whole mood. Huh?
I said, we'll wait on you, Queen. Come on back.
Oh, y'all so lovely. I'll be back.
Come on.
Can I get,
do I need to pour more alcohol or no?
I brought the whole bottle with me just in case.
I have Crown Royal and wine, and that's probably not the best.
That's not the best combination, but I respect it.
I'm Black and Southern, so it kind of works.
I have honey jack and wine, so
before y'all hijack my whole,
I love it. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cameron. Go ahead.
I'm gonna mute everybody real quick.
Good job.
No, I trust you. This was dope. Swiss Beats and Timbaland through just out of quarantine. I've been saying this. My motto has been, out of isolation has come creation. And I think 2 of our greatest like musical impacts, like musical geniuses, especially in hip hop, Swiss Beats and Timbaland, like came together in this battle and now have created this whole platform and have some of the most legendary music icons kind of going back, sharing hits. re-energizing their career, re-energizing their streaming, creating moments like this. I mean, we've been online for 3 hours straight and willing to talk another hour plus just because of like these moments and this energy. And so Jill Scott versus Erykah Badu was the first of its kind. We've had one other R&B, less hip hop, well, two of those between Teddy Face and Teddy Face.
Teddy Face.
And also
That's new.
and then Jonta Austin and Neo also went up head to head, and then we had Sean Garrett the Pen went up, and so a couple of those were cool, but I think this is the first women focused in like two titans of the culture. And it just was a good 3 hour love fest. So we've got a whole group, a great group of insiders, music insiders, politicos, and just admitted super fans here. And I just want to talk through it. I think I got most of the songs, so I want to kind of go song for song. But what did y'all think about the intro? It started late, and then Jill Scott had like somebody putting in different paintings. Like, what did y'all, I'm curious what y'all thought about the intro first.
I think women like to create an experience. So that's why you had poetry, you had the Nikki Giovanni going in the back. Like, it was giving us the proper warm up. You gotta think about it. You said it yourself. These were titans, right? Which means for them, it's about the experience. And anybody who knows Jill Scott knows that she is delivering an experience every single time you see her. And likewise with Erykah Badu. So I didn't expect anything different. I didn't see it as them starting late. I saw it as them warming us up.
A warm up?
Yeah.
How you really feel?
Like I really thought Lauryn Hill was opening up to them. I was like, okay, she never showed up. But
that's
for real
bullshit,
though, I've been to like 6 Erykah Badu concerts. I'm a super fan, and she has never showed up on time. And she is always given the same vibe that she has tonight. Just want to listen to her own music and not really talk.
Man, I think though, as Black people though, it's kind of the real experience. Like, we ain't gonna start at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock on down, because people still parking, they're getting their drinks right. And it was also it was out, and it wasn't, you know, it was also a little bit, the gospel was a little bit, from what I know, was just because of Andre Harrell's passing. And you know, it's hard to just go in and be tone deaf and just not realize what's happening in the world. So I thought it was appropriate, and they had 400,000 people and nothing was happening. So it was sort of resetting, like a pause. So I didn't see late at all. I didn't feel like it was late at all.
Agreed. I think they actually got up to 500,000 at one point. They were over 500,000.
They did.
No, they got.
They
got up to 700,000. They got up to 700,000 at one point.
Yeah, where else we had to go?
I think the age to be real though, like, you know, to still have an authenticity. Like, if you take your time and set the atmosphere and make sure everybody's tuned in, that we all vibing, that we understand what's going on, like that's how we grew up on that music. And so just because it's Instagram all of a sudden and get robotic about it is not appropriate. I mean, obviously it's nice to start on time, but I'd rather real than on time with music any day.
Yeah. I'd like
At this point, I really appreciate the fact that they weren't on time, because we've seen the technical difficulties of their predecessors. And I'm glad that all things considered, this went pretty smoothly. Like, there were a couple glitches here and there, but that's Instagram anyway. So like, I was okay with that. And like, I forgot who was talking about Andre, who passed earlier today, but also Lil Richard passed today at 87. You know, so like the sacred space that was created to move into the next space that was, you know, funky and soulful and stuff. I think that was really appropriate. And it's quintessentially them. That was the other thing. Like, I wouldn't expect Jill Scott to have absolutely nothing going on while she's setting up. Like, the fact that she had a picture of herself, that's quintessentially
that was dope.
The fact that she had spoken word in the background, that's quintessentially her. The fact that Erykah Badu showed up looking like, I don't know, quintessentially Erykah Badu. So like, you know what I mean? Like,
Bridget.
You don't. But my thing is, you never know exactly how Erykah's going to show up, and that's what I mean. It's just like whatever she's feeling that day, that's how she's going to show up. And it was just the quintessential
I totally
Black girl magic for them
But
tonight.
can we talk
I
about?
would have liked to have seen the technology set up on time though. Like I don't want to go to a concert and they still rigging the lights up. So you know there's gonna be a problem. So just put on the warm-up joint, like link the two accounts, let it run, and be the Bruce Lee running and the Nikki Giovanni, and then y'all come when your own count. I would just like to see the tech joint done on time.
But
I mean, all things considered, though.
Isn't just them? It's like Instagram, right? Like, so I was on Instagram earlier today. I had an hour-long talk show, and it was dropping. It wouldn't start. Like, it was glitching and freezing. There are so many of us that are overwhelming that system throughout the day. I don't think that's a fair assertion for them. Like, I think that one, Jill was there on time. Let's be clear, because I was ready with my group on time. Yep. And Erykah was doing her thing. But again, they are artists, they are entertainers. So their whole thing is production and this is a whole new world for them. So like I appreciated the Nikki Giovanni playing in the background and the art.
I'm not disagreeing with that part. I'm just saying start when you're gonna start creatively, fine. I'm just saying technology-wise, let us have some place to go on time. We showing up, just have the joint, have whatever playing in the back. It's all good.
But I mean, but even at a real concert, I mean, you know, by live nature, there's shit that go on in show business that the average fan is not going to see. There's lights not working, there's pyro not working. I mean, if you're going to have a gripe about something in the era of COVID, you know what I mean?
I'm not griping per se. I'm just presenting the opposite argument. Everybody is very, apologetic and thankful for the thing that happened. That's great.
Oh, let's apologize.
Oh, yeah.
But I think Renee was also trying to get in. We were just kind of talking over.
Yeah. Hey, real quick. I want to let me just do a little level setting. Thank y'all for all joining. Please say your name real quick and just go around who's who do we have on the panel today. And then try to keep your points tight because I just feel like everybody got something to say. So I want to make sure we get everybody involved. But Jason, I'm gonna kick off with you because I can see you.
Oh, no problem. So Jason Spear here, the J Spot Photo, Hustlers Guild co-founder. That's about it about me.
Kelly, go.
Hi, my name's Kelly. I'm a communication strategist, and you can find me at Kelly Comms on Instagram and Facebook.
Renee, I think I see you.
Hey friends, it's Renee Johnson. I have a podcast as well called the Rose Hour Podcast. We drink rosé, sip, sip, hooray. And also I am a lobbyist by day and working on making sure that small business owners of color get some money out of the PPP and EIDL program. So follow me at art.johnson so I can connect you so you can help us advocate to make sure we get money.
Amen.
Mike, I see you.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Michael McQuarrie. I'm sort of like Zoom bombing this deal here, but I found it. I said, let me listen to them here. Hey, that Erykah Badu, that's the first time I listened to that format. I don't know why. First of all, I was late. Second of all, I was expecting it like a concert, like the songs would go blend and stuff. So all the commentary they did, I was like, I don't need to hear all of that. But it was good. It was baby making music. 9 months later, they was listening to Jill and Erykah, and 9 months later.
Sean.
Hello, everyone. Charmy and Kinder, lifelong music fan. I work in social impact. I'm currently a global citizen, and I also have a social impact consultancy. Happy to be here.
Mr. Moore.
Hey, what's up? I'm Brendan Moore, serial entrepreneur. Do a whole lot to connect Black folks in meaningful ways. Current projects include a podcast called The Black Futurist, and I'm working with a network for Black professionals called Valence.
And you like for things to start on time.
No doubt. Absolutely.
Mr. Black Man. One black man. I love that. I love that it says one black man.
And that's you can find me at Instagram and all my socials is at One Black Man. But my government is Sean Glover. I'm Director of Royalty Administration and Industry Relations at Sound Exchange. And we collect and distribute all the digital royalties. So I make sure the artists get paid for digital streams and whoever owns the copyright on it.
Awesome.
Copyrights of that stuff.
Wakenya.
Hi, everyone. I'm Wakenya J.S. Clanton. I'm the sassiest politico you know. I'm the creator and founder of Politically Sassy, your web show for women. And by day, I guess the thing that pays me is I serve as the senior advisor to the chairman of the Democratic National Committee.
And Sanji, I think I see your name, your avatar on there. Are you there, Sanji? Okay, maybe
Her
not.
picture's here. Maybe she's on mute.
Oh, she might be on mute. Anyways, okay, no worries.
You skipped Kelly.
No, Kelly went. Didn't you, Kelly?
Oh, I missed you. I'm sorry.
Anyways.
This is not my show. I'm sorry, people.
It's the Chardonnay. What? Nah, that's red wine.
It is. I was kind of keeping score of like what was round for round. So I wanted to go through a couple.
I was not.
I missed a couple of them because I like had to have bathroom breaks. I was eating dinner, and there was a bunch of other things going on. But I was curious to like talk about one, the platform and how this was a lot different than a few other ones, and then kind of go through song for song. What do you think is like the bigger song? Initially, how did you guys look? How did y'all feel about this platform not being as much of a battle focus as much as it was like just as they called it a love fest and just kind of playing like, I don't know, maybe it's a little weird, but I love the battle aspect of Verzuz, and I wish they were a little more competitive. I know they're women and they're about like they promote like the love movement, but
we're
I
gonna
wish they were
cap
you off on that, Cam. That's not a true
Yeah.
statement.
Sorry.
I think these two women are artists. And I think what you have to do is appreciate the culture. You can't tune in tonight and think that you've never watched or fully engaged with these women before and think that you're gonna see a beatboxing battle. That's not what it is. They did battle, and they battled in their own way. And if you're actually a student of either one of those women, you're going to understand exactly how each song pivoted against each other. And like, no, they weren't confrontational, but the music themselves, like if you paid attention to the selections and the way that they made the placements, you'll know that a battle when you see one, and that was definitely a battle.
And it was also a battle because Erykah Badu didn't even have the same feed that Jill Scott did. So that goes to show you right there, strategy.
What?
You ain't even got to say nothing and say something.
Anytime a Black woman shows up, especially those type of Black women who are just dope and just have regalness emanating from them, it's about excellence. We just gonna keep one-upping each other on the excellent tip. So
excellent tip.
Like just rack songs for days and days and days. Half the children born have been born to these songs. It's not always about necessarily being confrontational and having a low energy vibration. It's vibrating higher. And I thought that was dope. Like they could both show up and be like, yeah, I got songs, yep, still. And then we going for 3 hours on things that have come out of their soul. And that's
I like the fact that like they complimented each other.
Yeah.
They were like, you play a song about this? Like, I got that word in my song. Or you like, I really love your music. So it was something about the energy that made it feel like this is more of a love fest and not like the traditional battle, even though they were going head to head with different songs. This is something I can see on like a stage.
That's the aspect of all these that I like the most, is really that mutual admiration piece.
Yeah.
And we've seen it in all of them, because I don't think anybody's really come up and just been a total jerk. But I think for me, that's my favorite part of the whole joint is always, that mutual admiration. And they gave a whole lot in this one.
I think
we should look at.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead, Kelly. I can say it after. It's fine.
All right. No, I was just saying how I don't think if they had done it in the same way that previous artists have done it, it would have been translated into authentic and genuine, because that's just not them. Them going tit for tat, that's not their energy whatsoever. And if you really think about it, it would have been an authentic from jump had they had that exact format, because they've written each other's stuff. They have influenced each other in so many ways that at one point I was just vibing and I was like, wait, who did this?
So to that point, Kelly, like I said, I kept tab of for some of them what happened, but they kicked the battle off with they kicked the battle off with a classic song by The Roots. and it was
Jill
interesting.
Scott.
I never knew that Jill Scott had wrote that song.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you ever see,
I didn't know that, but how did y'all think about the presentation of that first song? If a couple people want to weigh in,
I would like to say something.
Alicia will go, and then please remind me of your name, brother. Sorry.
You can call me one black man. That's cool. It's Sean though. It's Sean.
Sean, should I say?
Yeah.
All right.
Hi, Sean.
Thank
So
you,
first
Sean.
and foremost, I definitely, we have to acknowledge who we've lost in the past 2 days in the methodicalness of this entire quote unquote battle, right? And it's only by the collective that we grow, which is kind of what I wanted to say before. So even seeing like how the Bruce Lee film in the back of Erykah Badu and really how methodical she moves anyway. And that even if we are competing, we're never actually competing, right? It's the other people that pit us against each other. And as long as we embrace unity, we can actually grow and build stronger. But I think in terms of presenting that that song, I thought it was absolutely amazing, because if you ever see them perform this song in person, it's a completely different vibe based on if Erykah singing it or Jill singing it. And even how it resonates with the roots is just a very, very different presentation. And so I really appreciated the fact that they both played that song and their renditions of it, because it really does speak to one, their unique sound, but also just like the healing spirit, I think, that comes from their music.
I would just say that I thought that Jill killed it. Like, I don't think that, and I love both of these women with such like deep admiration and respect for each of their artistry. But when you talk about that song in particular, her runs, her ad-libs, the passion that she has in her words, you can tell she wrote the song. And she sung the song the way she intended it for it to be sung when she wrote it. And I think that was the delivery. And to also understand the history behind the song and the fact that it opened her up. Like, she lied and told the Roots that she had written before and she wrote the song. Like, she admitted it. And it was a beautiful, like, the way that she captured, I think, every word, she hit every note, and it drew you in. And it drew you in totally differently from how Erykah drew you in. To your point, when she sung the song, she just didn't have the same, I think, connection to the words and the music and the feel that Jill intended. So I, hands down, no question, Jill Scott won that first round.
Well, I was going to say that, I mean, like Cameron alluded to, like, people didn't, it was such an educational moment for people, because it's the backstory that really, that makes these songs and these moments, you're like, damn, I didn't know that. But one part I wish they would have talked about was that the Roots actually went to the label. They wanted to use Jill, and the label was saying, no, like, we don't know it. They was like, who is this person? They kept saying that so much that Jill, and this is the 20th anniversary of her album, Who is Jill Scott, was named because of that song. They kept saying, who is Jill Scott? Who is Jill Scott? And they was like, she dope. They tried to go to bat for her. I agree with the sister that said that. I mean, I'm not gonna pick which one, because I mean, Erykah's version is who people know, because it was the commercially released versions. The true fans and stans like us know the other version. I mean, it is what it is, but I do like that. I do like the historical context behind the songs, because people don't know that that's the only song Erykah ever did that was written by someone else.
Mm-hmm.
She don't do that.
She don't do that. That's
so
right.
It was like it was a homage to each other.
Yeah, that was an excellent start. It's a great place to begin and get it out of the way. I agree that I felt like Jill's version, it comes different. But I really love the idea that they both did it, that she played the live version. And all of us have seen the Dave Chappelle joint where they did it together, the block party. I mean, that was special also. So fantastic.
I wish they would have performed it live though. I wish they would have actually performed that song on live without the release version.
I'm sure Erykah Badu right now is doing that at the after party right now.
Mm-hmm.
I only say that because she's having an after party and Jill Scott had no clue.
Yeah.
So
but Erykah's a DJ too, so it makes sense for her to do it.
Real quick, I did want to ask you guys if you guys are aware of Erykah Badu's kind of like her platform. She's done a couple of these digital concerts where you pay like $2, $4. You get to watch her live. You can pay, you can like buy merchandise, you can stream stuff on Spotify. Has anybody done any of those? I went to the first one she had. I thought it was a real dope experience.
No, I hadn't done it. I wanted to do it. I think I like missed it twice. So
Yeah,
I missed it twice, but I definitely wanted to like get in it because I love Erykah. Like I grew up on Baduism and Mama's Gun, so like those are my joints. But I just totally missed it. I totally missed it. So
Did question. So the next song that they did, Erykah Badu dropped On and On, and then Jill Scott dropped What a Feeling. Who do y'all think won that round?
Man, we're gonna do this for every song, dog. This is tough, man. Man, look, we need another format, man. That's
not every song, but I do want to touch on a few, like,
bro, it's
how
tough,
one
bro.
song brought another song. I'm curious, like, what song do y'all think? I mean, I feel like On and On is like hands down.
I agree. I mean, that beat dropped. It was like,
yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
What were the two songs? What was Jill's song? What was Jill's song?
Getting in my way.
Oh man, that's that. I mean, I forgot what sister said that, these are two ladies and they classy. That song was about whooping somebody's ass. That song was about, look, sometimes you gotta take this crown off. And they were like, these are two nice ladies. Nah, Jill was letting you know it can go down if I have to.
At the grocery store.
At the grocery store with Vaseline on your face.
Yes, you don't get no blacker than that.
Well, I think does have a different On though. But On and On started a different type of sound. It was a game changer.
Yeah.
Right? Like no one had heard anything like that before when it dropped.
It sort of started like that neo soul movement.
Yes. It started a whole movement, the Badu movement. And then, inspired folks like Jill and everyone else who kind of followed.
Agreed. But to one black man's point, like it did make you want to take off. You go ahead and put your, like, I'm wearing my hair wrapping the earrings in honor of Jill in that video, to be honest. But I agree, like that's a hard one. Can we call it tie on that? Because it's kind of two different extremes.
I don't know. I gotta give it to Erykah on that one. I gotta go with Erykah on that one. That beat drop, it's like.
But I think it all depends on like
because all I heard was the beat drop.
But I think
she starts off with Sister Girl. Like she stepped into this woman, man. Like
I know you don't understand.
I understand. He's my man. Like, you talking about how it started? You talking about beat? She started with them words. Right. You catch these hands.
And she walked to her house. Let's not forget. She walked up.
So next they went to again. I this is why I feel like it was slanted toward, for the general public, it was slanted toward Erykah Badu, because Erykah Badu has like cultural. She had label money behind her and had like cultural cut through songs, as opposed to Jill Scott had some records that a few that the general public knows, but like fans know all of these joints. So Erykah Badu went to Didn't You Know, and Jill Scott played Rolling Hills. Like, what y'all think about that?
Rolling Hills, hands down. Rolling Hills.
No, what? No, didn't you know the vibe? You can picture yourself like in the moment in that video.
Right, but Rolling Hills speaks to you differently if you're a woman and you know exactly what she's talking about. Like, here's the thing. I think they both are so magical, and it's really hard to have this conversation, which Cameron, I appreciate you for pulling us together to try to have this conversation. But like Rolling Hills, if you have ever been in a situation where you feel like you've been attracted to a certain type of person, you're always being drawn to a certain type of relationship, and you are making decisions based off of these emotions that are not reciprocated, Rolling Hills speaks straight to your whole heart. So I mean, I don't know, y'all.
Where are you from? Let me just say something.
Clanton, where are you from? Where are you from? What can you?
I'm from
Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm from Mississippi. I've been in DC for 12 years.
Pronounce your first name for me so I don't screw it up.
Wakenya.
Wakenya.
Like Wakanda, but Wakenya forever.
Wakenya. Let him know.
One black man. I feel like you about to say.
No, I was gonna say, I I was gonna say, like, we got, no disrespect to the ladies on this Zoom, but gender aside, these are two of the best performers, period. Like, I don't care what they got going on, how you stand to pee, if you sit to pee. These is one of the best performers ever. And it don't have to be a woman. Like, it was men singing "I'm Every Woman" by Shaka Khan. The hardest motherfucker was singing that shit. So let's just stop this right now. These two artists are just that, the best of what they do. They can sing men under the table. So you're right. These songs are just what they are. They just great songs, no matter who's singing.
Mm-hmm.
Who got that?
Yeah,
Oh, really?
I mean, it's an anthem for women.
It's that anthem.
But,
like, I'm
it
not
doesn't have the
disagreeing with
same
you. Like,
impact
One Black
as,
Man,
like,
I
Didn't
agree
You
that they
Know?
both
Love
are
is
incredible
Life,
artists
and
despite
life
their
is
gender.
Hold on, Joaquin, hold on. Who's gonna say Jason? Because I kind of agree with Jason. Like, Didn't You Know was like universal.
It's like you're trying to figure out which way you want to go, and like it just gets you that, like, oh, I feel this in my spirit. Then that line, like at the end of the song, "Love is life and life is free." Like, oh my gosh, you feeling that shit right there.
I think.
Well, I think that Jill kind of played some of her favorites. You know what I mean? I don't know if she necessarily played a lot of fan favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Or
But
commercial.
like her
Played my favorite.
Yeah.
Sean, what were you about to say? Sean, what were you about to say?
But a lot of her stuff was how she was feeling at that moment.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think that's what's so epic about their music is you kind of remember where you were, what you were feeling with each one of the songs. So like Joaquin was saying, if you're a woman, Rolling Hills might have resonated with you because whatever you were going through or a friend was going through at the time. Whereas if you're a dude, you might remember being at, like, we have memories that are attached to when songs drop, because we used to have actual albums and whole like ceremonies behind the dropping of songs. It's like that's how we used to convene and commune as a community. So it just depends on where you are and what you were dealing with at the time, what song you think is hotter, because we were all going through different things. But I actually like One Man Black said, I liked On and On. Like, I mean, that's not what we were just talking about, but the song that we were talking about with Erykah
Didn't You Know?
Yeah, Didn't You Know, sorry.
Sorry, I just muted everybody because I heard some feedback, but I wanted to make sure, just unmute yourself if you're about to talk, that's all. But moving to the next duo of songs, Well Well versus Slowly Surely. What y'all think about that lineup?
I mean, I felt that was a draw.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a whole lot of conversation on that.
Yeah, that was a drop. Like you got to go to the hits that were dropped, the commercial stuff, I guess.
No, no, that's not true, Jason. No, like no, they actually. Okay, again, I'm a super fan, so both of the albums, I don't agree that you have to go to like the fake things that most people knew. I think Slowly Surely, like that song in and of itself, both of them, first of all, they just have incredible music, but
yeah.
I think it does speak to a time period, and anyone who was listening, if you were a first time listener, or if you had heard those songs before, I think they both called on memories for you. I just think that is a fair draw. I think it's a fair draw.
Okay, I agree.
It's a draw.
All right. So we went back to I missed a round, so there's songs that I'm about to skip over.
You missed around.
Bro, I don't know about y'all, but I was eating dinner.
Clearly walking to the bar.
Trying to go get a drink.
Right.
Like handling life. Like this is a lot. This is a lot of commitment to like not have to move in your house, especially after we've been locked down for 2 months. So I'm used to moving around the way I want to move around. So I missed this round. I heard the song because I had it playing on like a speaker through but I don't remember. I didn't type it down. But the next one that I did type down, I think was the one after that, round 6-7, is Apple Tree versus Whenever You're Around. And also shout out to Tidal. I don't know if any of y'all got Tidal, but Tidal already got the versus playlist.
Nice.
Tidal's really good with these.
Yeah, but they probably have an agreement with them too. because they know it's so much traffic that's going to be
It's
coming.
Swiss Beats.
And like the only thing you can do is do streaming. So
yeah.
So,
But
Cam,
what
how
did
you
y'all
missing-
think about that
Cam,
pairing of
how
Apple
you missing
Tree?
rounds if it's all on title, dog?
What?
How you missing rounds if it's all on title?
But they didn't pair it in rounds. They didn't do the playlist. I'm looking through it right now. But Apple Tree versus what was it? Whenever You're Around. What y'all think about that? Because Apple Tree to me is a big song.
Yeah, I love it.
You
But
skipped
that's
Other
still-
Side of
that's
the
a
Game
draw
and
for me.
Coles was before this.
Say
It was
that-
what?
Other Side of the Game was before Apple Tree
And other side of the game, I mean, does anybody remember that video
with Andre.
like with Method
Yeah.
Man? I mean, that was just like something different, right?
Brothers got that complex occupation.
Yeah, you can't skip rounds like that, Cam.
You can't skip that song. That was
other
like
side of the
amazing.
game was other side of the game. I think
It was too many songs. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to hold y'all for another 2 hours. And so I got too many songs to do
At
this
least
whole
you started
thing.
on time.
Man, I appreciate the fact that it is this late, but I know everybody's sleep schedule is so messed up, so it's kind of like
And Cam,
we were up, so it's like, why not?
I do want to say that I do think that many of these songs gave us permission as a community to see ourselves wholly. So it's like whether you are a lawyer or you got a best friend who's still a street pharmacist, it allowed us to actually tell our stories and talk about our stories as they were happening. You know what I mean? I think that the spaces that created was so, it was actually important for me. I'm from New Haven, Connecticut. Like,
That's
most
dope.
of the people I went to high school with were absolutely that type of dude. So I just think these songs are just so pivotal for the culture. Before we moved on, I wanted to say that because it was the first time that an artist, I think a female artist and an R&B artist, brought it into our love and family building paradigm and allowed us to talk about it and allowed us to kind of have an emotion around it and not kind of corner it off in all these different areas. Like, that's why both of them are so epic, because they brought poetry to their music. And it was important for us to exist, you know what I mean, for how we were experiencing life as we were living it. So I wanted to sort of give them their due for that.
And it was a different voice, right? It was a voice that we had not heard in music, expressing what it was, not for the, drug dealer, but for the person who was, living with them and loving them as well. And then the way it was shot, and I think she, gave a shout out to Paul Hunter for shooting this video with Andre 3000. It was shot differently. It was something that we had never seen before from that type of perspective. So, I mean, I think with Erykah's first album, that was just a game changer, period. Like the way the language, the songs, the lyrics, the vibe, the videos, like all those things were just a completely different shift from anything I'd ever seen before.
No, I agree with that. For me, like, I love both. And I actually know of one of Erykah Badu's background singers because she is from DC, Yazara. But Jill Scott resonated with me from such a young age because she was a full-figured woman who was considered sexy. And that was the first time I had ever seen that in my life, in my entire life. And, I just remember the video for A Long Walk and seeing people looking at her being wanting to be with her, not being the side chick, not being, the sidekick for the skinny girl, not being
that's important.
The homely person. She was an object of desire in every single one of her videos, authentically.
Yes.
Authentically. And it comes out in her music as well. So for me, it's like, I've always been full figured. I ain't gonna be skinny ever in my life. My weight may go up and down, but I like wine and I like chips. It's just how it's gonna be. So for me, it's like, no matter what I look like, no matter how big I am, how skinny I am, whatever, I have something in the media. I have something in my favorite genre of music that not only looks like me, but also resonates with me in a sense that I don't have to look like a video vixen in order to be an object of desire. I don't have to belittle myself in order to be an object of desire. And Jill Scott was able to just encompass what sexy is to me in my head already to the masses. So that's why I came out tonight. I was just like, I'm gonna put on my little sparkly shirt
I feel it.
You know, and it's just one of those, like, again, it was a love fest.
Kelly, can I just piggyback off of Kelly real quick? Because I think what you said is like super, super important. Just like, you know, similar to you, she was the first picture for full figure young girls to see and be like, outside of Oprah, I want to be Jill Scott. Like, right?
Oprah didn't want to be big.
And Oprah didn't want to be big, right? Like, and as a person from Mississippi, we all think, I ain't gonna tell you, we all eat cornbread, collard greens. That's how we roll. But what I will say about Jill Scott that really drew me to her so early was that she infused poetry in her music. Mm-hmm. And like we all talk about like music being ballads and storytelling, things like that, which it is, but like just the pure essence of poetry and the way that she made that, and she was unapologetic about her sexuality in that, in those writings. And I think for young creatives like myself at the time, it was freeing. It was freeing in so many aspects. So like, even though we have like our professional lives, the creative side of us still had like a hunger that needed to be nurtured. And she opened the door for that. And I see so much of myself in her, and not only in her music, but in her writing, and the freedom and liberty, the permission that she gave you to be free with your words, and also unapologetic about your feelings about, you know, sexuality and freedom and expression.
She gave you permission to not need permission, and that, like,
I think that's
what it was.
I think that's powerful.
So free with your words, and it was liberating. So
Kenya, I was gonna say, and I'd love to, before we talk about a couple more songs, if a few more people weigh in, I think it was very powerful, just in terms of like it was very freeing to hear you all say that. But I think the reason why this pairing was so beautiful and like made so much sense, because Erykah, even though she may have, quote unquote, in terms of like body size and figure, fit a certain narrative, Erykah's music, freedom of expression, her everything from her body art to her actual art, to the music, to the videos, like the challenges that she, like everything she exuded, challenged the norm, but put it in, but she's so mainstream. I feel like she did so much to shift the culture as well. And they both were titans in the sense that they normalized parts of the Black experience, parts of the women experience, parts of just the human experience that a lot of people just don't get. So I thought that was really dope in terms of just the pairing really made a lot of sense. Yeah, go.
I would say though, Lauryn Hill was kind of doing that a little bit before Erykah. I mean, in the sense of when you show images of women covered up, Erykah doesn't show her body. It wasn't all over sexualized. Erykah was just dope. But I also let me say this one point is that I'm not a full figure woman, but I am, you know, I listen. I'm a hip hop head, and I listen really well. I'm a great listener, and those words that they were saying, like, I'm lonely whenever you're around. You talking about poetic? It's just things that just sends chills through you. Like, damn, it makes you. It paints pictures in your mind when you write with your pen that tight. When you can see words and images, it's just those two are just two of the best.
Well, I think that Jill was more tangible. You know what I mean? For women, she was dealing with you know, in comparison to kind of Erykah, who was kind of more like this cosmic superstar. She wasn't as tangible as Jill was. You know, it seems like you could, you know, go and sit down and talk with Jill, comparison to like I think with Erykah, you feel like you'd be sitting there like learning, you know what I mean, from Erykah, while with Jill you could like bustle up and laugh and cry and hug it out. Like, I think that's
to Kelly's point earlier about Jill kind of opening the floodgates and showing you this image of full-figured center, you know, the desired woman in her videos. So much so to that point that we even tried to credit her with appearances that weren't her. Remember the Cool C Glamorous Life video that everybody thought was her as the it girl? You know?
You're right, Brandon. You're right.
To your point, Kelly, like she had gone so far in doing so much for that image that we tried to even say, oh man, you know, let's give her some more credit for some, you know, in that lane. So yeah, I
No,
agree.
I agree. That's for sure.
I think she definitely helped debunk a lot of stereotypes that existed for full-figure women, right? Like the shelter girl next door that is just like super like sweet and meek, and she showed that there is a feisty nature to women, to all women, you know, like we are not all like Susie homemakers, you know, we're not over here with low self-esteem. Like we exude confidence in a different type of way. And I think that was one of the things that was like really freeing for a lot of people, is that, you know, it kind of changed the narrative that some people can put on you when you're not like social normative. So
no, I agree. And for me, she came at like such a perfect time, because it was, I was in a predominantly white high school, you know, and people didn't know what to do with me as a person because I was so layered. And it wasn't that I wasn't shy. I wasn't, you know, homely. I wasn't doing anything. I was just like my thinner counterparts, just bigger. And people didn't know what to do with that. They felt like you had to fit into some type of box in order to be accepted. And her, it was like, okay.
Kelly, I would say, Kelly, that, and I want whoever's going to speak, I want them to go next. But to me, that's, as a man who's, like I said, I'm not a full figure woman as well, but having that, being around,
and that is okay.
But no, I don't know if y'all know this.
Who you are.
Thank you, I appreciate it. But again, like it's almost empowering and just enlightening for me as just a man who's been on earth almost 40 years, but still thinking, like, realizing the impact that just the image, the music, how she was presented, like, that's why music and artists and like this whole genre, this culture is so empowering and powerful. Like the fact that she gave so many people an image, and the way, like I said, the way, like, I think it was you, Kelly, said like she was the main dish, like she's the main woman, like she's not like, oh, I'm a side chick. Like it means something to be the object of divine.
Like that too. So I also want to put that out there, because before Jill Scott, before other women of color who were full figured in the media like that, we were taboo, even though we were the majority. You know what I'm saying? So
and
like,
a lot of men liked us behind closed doors.
Behind closed doors. So like I remember, like, and there's still, like, I remember even in college where there were instances where like people would try and keep me a secret because of just what I look like, not because of anything else. They just couldn't be seen with a full-sized woman on campus. But Jill Scott coming out, and Jasmine Sullivan coming out, and all these other full-figured women coming out, Jennifer Hudson before she got thinner, you know, even Monique to a certain extent, you know what I'm saying? It was just like the diversity.
No,
Monique. Keep Monique off that list. Keep Monique off that list.
Talk that list.
Before she was in.
A bridge too far. A bridge too far.
But I will say this.
Hey, a bridge too far.
Bridge too far. I feel you on that. But just to center the conversation, because I don't want to keep y'all super duper long. But back to the music.
So
there was they went to again. I love Jill Scott, but Erykah Badu just got them bangers. She got those bops. Like she played "Love of My Life." And then like broke down the various like intermetaphors of like common this, like I just thought the explanation afterwards, I think that's one of the most transformative. It's like a top 10, top 20 video of all time, definitely in the hip hop R&B culture. Like I just love that video. Like it's such a rewatchable if you haven't seen it or want to go back and check it out. And then Jill Scott plays "So in Love" featuring Anthony Hamilton, which I feel like he dominated that song, and it was cool to me, but it wasn't like full Jill. But I'm curious to like.
But you have to understand, this was Jill's first live.
That too.
Right?
Yeah.
In life.
In life.
Yes.
Like ever.
Right? Ever. So Erykah.
You giving her that excuse? You giving her that?
No. Erykah came prepared. She had the echo that ended. She's done it. She did it before. She had her bangers lined up, you know. And I said Jill was kind of playing more things that she enjoyed performing, or it was like some memory attached to that song that you know that it wasn't like she had lined up like I'm just gonna come with all my hits. Like she didn't play long
So
walks.
to your point, I'm gonna ask everybody, and you can chime in or this. At this point, is that an excuse? Like we've been quarantined for 2 months. Like you need to know as a performer.
I don't think any of that's excuse, but I think that there's definitely, you know, like Jill Scott's performances, like it's an experience, right?
Exactly.
And it isn't necessarily something that may translate into a video streaming. And I think that that's something that makes, like, adds to her mystique and why she's such an amazing performer, right? Whereas I think Erykah Badu over the years has cultivated herself in such a way as to be able to translate herself into multiple platforms, right? So there's Erykah Badu that you get at a show that is like unlike what you get on her album, which is unlike what you might get if you buy stuff from her shop, right? Which is unlike what you might see on her streaming. And so I think like Erykah's been more present in these interwebs and in all of these different technological platforms. And I think that's why she's been able to do so. Whereas Jill, I feel like is one of those, like, I'm an amazing, like she had an issue when the people had recorded her with the microphone. And she was like, I mean, this is an experience that you get at a show. This wasn't meant to be taken out of context. There's other parts around it. And so I think, but I also think Jill has been very purposeful that is her brand. She is a live, you know, you can buy the album, but when you see her in person, that is why you fall in love with her. That is why you see her artistry. That's why you see her genius.
To your question.
Hold on, wait a minute. Are we saying so in
No,
love?
yeah, let me go,
Mr.
Moore.
I don't think it's an excuse to your direct question, Cam, because, you know, I'm sure she's not quarantined by herself. There's got to be a teenager in the house somewhere that knows how to just do the joint for her.
Her child's like 11.
But I also
Told enough.
Even making that comparison, like I think it's the ability and willingness of what they want to do and what they feel like they ought to do. Erykah made a point to say, "Hey, I make my livelihood from touring. I'm not touring." So that's why she's doing what she's doing. She even says it. I'm an entrepreneur. This is what I need to be doing. So for her, that's what she needs to do. We can't make these monolithic statements saying like everyone's supposed to be doing the same thing. That's not the reality. They're doing what they need to do because that's what they want to do.
They professionals.
And they also all have a different level of artistry, right? Like you got to think about the delivery of these performers. I think we're trying to make them both be something that they're not. They are very much so individuals in the way that they deliver, the way that they go about. If you think about the choices that Jill made tonight with her catalog, I 100% agree. Like you could tell when she came on the street, she was ready for this, but she also was consumed. Her mind was somewhere else. That was clear to me. And her music reflected exactly where she was. But that comes from being a true fan and knowing the artist, right? And knowing her delivery and the things that she's going to give you and the way that she wants to give it to you. She's a very sultry artist, right? She's a very sultry, very soulful artist. Erykah is a very soulful and creative artist, but it's two different dynamics. Like if I just want to vibe out, if I just want to just like ride, I may listen to Erykah. But if I'm taking a bubble bath, I'm listening to Jill.
If I'm taking a bubble bath,
I'm on Jill.
Here, so I wanted to talk about one more song pairing and then get into like one last like wraparound question to ask everybody.
Hey Cam, hold on one second.
Go real quick.
I would be remiss, man. You said the original question was "So in Love" was not. It was like "So in Love" was not a good choice, and against what was the song you put it against? What
Love of My Life.
Yeah. So in Love. I mean, I have a different affection for Love of My Life, and I would pick Love of My Life over So in Love. But in the era of ballads and and Marvin and Tammy Terrell, and having someone like Anthony Hamilton that sounds like a man singing to a woman, which is what we don't have in R&B these days. That song was purposely and paired together for them to forget the ballad. It's original. I thought it was beautiful, and it's my grandparents like that song. I didn't even know they even knew who the hell either one of them was. It's one of them cookout songs that it's hard to do stuff like that now. Every
reception we go to, they play that song.
It's a Steppers song.
That shit is hard. Yeah. Who said Steppers? Who said that?
I said it.
I'm from Chicago too.
I said we
Hey,
got
but yeah,
Chicago folk over
Nice.
here.
Yeah, I'm born in
Well,
Chicago. Y'all from Chicago?
Now, a lot of y'all are claiming Chicago that are not Chicagoans, so I'll put
No, I
that
was born in Chicago. My family's from Chicago. But I was raised in Cleveland, so I say that. But I lived in Chicago until I was 7.
Ohio. I agree with you, one black man. I think it's important that, and these are not, these songs made of the tapestry of our lives. You have some people who got married to that song. It allowed black men and women to say, "I love you." It allowed to say, "I'm in love with you." It allowed.
Man, you're right.
Right.
So in love with you. That's in public. Like, what's the last duet y'all heard? What was the latest duet? Name me another duet we've heard in the last 10 years. All right, next you can move on, Cameron. We good.
so
late, man.
Let me go because I'm respectful of everybody's time. I know it's almost 11.
Look,
I didn't really say how long this would last. Low key, we're getting up to more people, a couple more people streaming. I just appreciate y'all coming out and having
no doubt, brother.
Like this feels good. Like I said, I'm the glass is empty. This is number 2. Jill Scott. It was a vibe. It was energy, but. If you had to judge it, so this is a question for everybody on the panel. I want to go to everybody. Answer the question and please give us your name and then promo how, like, give us your name and like your background again, who you are, and if there's people you want to follow or something you want to plug, this is your opportunity to do that. So I'm gonna do a round robin with everybody. But my question is this: it's 2 parts. Who won tonight? And you can encompass who won by who had the better songs, who had the better presentation, the vibe. Even though they weren't competing, it's hip hop and like the generation, the culture, the verses. It says verses, so it's still a battle. So who won tonight? And then also who is your favorite? If you could only have that person's albums, you stuck on a desert island. So I want who won tonight and who between Jill Scott and Erykah Badu is your favorite that you, if you could only have one, and then give your explanation. So be more. I know you got a role, brother.
Yeah.
So
in my personal bias, admitted bias, I think Erykah won tonight, and that's that. If I had to have one or the other as my favorite, or be stuck on an island, like you said, that's a real tough one. Like that one is almost worse than who won the night. I have no idea who I would choose for eternity. So I'll stick with Erykah on both. Personal bias.
Kelly.
Just
hold on, wait 1 second. I'm sorry, B, bro. Yep. You the main person I said that for. You got mad things to promote. You better tell me, like, give me your name, give me your name, your how people can follow you. You got businesses. I'll be following you for the fitness and the mental fitness. So please, give me a shout out.
The easiest way right now is just go everybody wherever you listen to podcasts. The Black Futurist is my new podcast. It's a bunch of interviews with people like yourselves who are just experts in your field and, really talking from a Black perspective about what our future looks like in different silos. So, it's where the conversation is for me right now. It's the most honest. There's no intros, no outros, no code switching. It's just a lot of fun and a lot of cool people. And I'd love to hear what you guys think of it. And thanks so much for inviting me tonight. It's been fantastic.
Appreciate it, brother. Thank you. Black Futurist, holla at that. I got to check you out, and I need you on the Hip Politics podcast.
You got me.
Kelly, what's up?
To answer your specific
the answer to the questions and give your breakdown.
All right, so who won the battle tonight? Erykah won the battle tonight only because of the songs that were played. My favorite person is Jill Scott for the reasons that I listed previously. Regarding me, you can follow me at Kelly Combs, spelled Kellye. Yes, I'm special. Combs, COMMS. And I'm also selling face masks to the community. And you can find that at KB Creates. But if you go to Kelly Combs, you'll find that information there as well.
Got it. My brother Jason, what's good? With the ill hat, I thought my hat game was nice tonight, but you killed me.
Hey, I've been in the house for 2 months without a haircut, brother. So I had to put a hat on.
That's great.
So to answer your question, like I really enjoyed both of the artists tonight. I wish Jill would have had an opportunity to play like some good classics like Golden and
Hate on me.
Oh, like what about the go? We in DC. She had a go-go song and everything.
Oh my
y'all.
God.
Hello?
It's love.
But all of DC was not watching this feed.
No, we was on the after party stuff.
Shit, this joint had like 600,000 people almost 700,000 people at one point. DC.
Exactly.
From DC, I'm gonna let you know that.
Yeah,
right
the whole
But anyways, let me get Jason back. Jason,
So
back to
I
your
am a
point, and
diehard Erykah Badu stan. I take a bubble bath to Erykah. I could be doing housework for Erykah. This entire thing made me feel like cleaning my house 2 times. Like and just burning some incense, but like overall, I think Erykah won, and like I am a diehard Erykah fan. But it was a good battle and a good love fest. And to tell about a little bit what I'm doing, like of course, like I want to shout out my nonprofit, the Hustlers Guild. We're a STEM education nonprofit that uses hip hop music and popular culture to teach our youth. Go to hustlersguild.org and you'll see our Hustlers talk. We talked to Anthony Anderson, Ricky Smiley, Jess Hilarious, and Cowboy, some other artists during this COVID session. Check that out. And also check out my photography at the J Spot Photo, dope photographer. That's
yo, when it's cool.
I've had my J Spot photo shoot.
Yeah.
You need to have your J Spot, Virginia.
Jason, I'm gonna hit you up about even though obviously I'm a photog too, I can't take my own pictures, so I need to hit you up about whenever you're cool with social distance, because we're launching Hip Politics, we're launching 2 new shows, and I got to do photo shoots for the stars of the show. So
no problem.
I'll let you
like
soon.
I got my work in my background.
No, I mean I know you're official, brother. I didn't. We know each other. Renee. We know each other.
I know.
Renee, holla at us.
Hey, okay. So I think Black women won tonight because in this culture that we're in, we've been getting a lot of losses lately. And I'm so thankful that we had an opportunity. And even though it's supposed to be a battle, we battled to show that we can come together. My favorite, Black women. So I'm very excited about today. It was great. Root for Black women. We won today. I really appreciate it. About me, I have a podcast called At the Rose Hour podcast on Instagram. You'll see me drinking rosé from across the world with great people. We have different guests. Cam and Wakenya have been guests on the show. Also, Kevin from the Hustlers Guild has been on the show, drank a little rosé all day and talked about what they do. Love to talk with some of you here and would love for people to check it out. Also, check out r.johnson, which is my personal Instagram, and what I'm working on with Congresswoman Presley, Senator Harris, and making sure that we get $250,000 to Black small business owners in the next COVID package. So please work with us. We really need the assistance to making this movement a real thing.
Charmian. She's one of my besties. And I'm comfortable and man enough to say that. That's one of my besties.
It's been 20 years, friend.
Yes.
All right, so not to take what Renee said, but we were thinking along the same lines. Like, I think you're a dope Black woman when you can show up to a battle and still tell another Black woman she's just as dope as you. That's when we all really win. And that's what happened tonight. And so I love Jill and I love Erykah Badu. I think for tonight, because we know that the sister Jill, Queen Jill, was her first night. She just came in her own excellence. She wasn't really, not saying she wasn't worried about all 2,000 people or 700,000 people on there. But she came and did what she's been doing this entire time, which is why we're her fans. She came in here and gave us her magic and her spirit and her words and her energy. And you can never say that somebody lost when you do that for a living. So I think that I love Jill Scott, because she got me through a lot. I love Erykah Badu, but Erykah did win tonight because I think she understands technology more or has more experience with it and knew exactly how to do the cadence. So I'll give her that. With regards to the quality of songs, can't be compared. They're both winners. They're both queens. They both carry culture. They're both dope. That's what I have to say about that. If I had to be on an island, it depends on if I was on an island with a man or not.
That part.
If it ain't no man, it's probably gonna be Erykah. If it is a man, I'm gonna be repopulating the world in Ireland with babies on Jill Scott.
Yes.
You can find me at Sharmy and Kinder, so at CHARMION, Kinder KINDER. Again, I'm into a lot of things. I've done a lot of things, but mostly in social impact and empowering communities. Currently, I'm at Global Citizen at globalcitizen.com. We're working on COVID-19. We just did Together at Home. Many of you probably saw. We're going to be doing more vaccinations and different things all around the world, as well as in the United States. So if you travel a lot, or if you're not even from the United States of America, but you care about Black people around the world, or anybody around the world, quite frankly, which includes a lot of people of color, please follow us at globalcitizen.org or just Global Citizen on social.
Got it. Man, just the fact that it says one Black man, I need to change mine. Like I'm changing, but I need to promote and let people know, because I feel a little less Black in your presence. Just by your Zoom, he's like, yo, I am one Black man, and you just.
And Cam, he is Black AF, okay?
Brother, please go.
No, I say, so the winners tonight is Instagram and the culture. We're the only group of people that could, in genre, that could do this. Like with Teddy Riley, I like when you said Teddy Face. When Teddy Face broke Instagram, there's only one group of people that can break Instagram. And the way we make things cool, just by saying IG, the DMs, we need to stop giving this away for free. We set the bar, and obviously by tonight and those other verses, we set the culture. So let's find, like Erykah did her platform, let's find a platform where we could do this for each other and monetize it. I'm at One Black Man on all social medias, and my only thing to promote is I just want y'all to be here, stay safe out here. We're gonna get through this, but I need y'all here.
So I love the background, brother. I love the background. I love it. Mr. Michael McQuarrie, my co-pilot on the Hip Politics podcast. Check in.
Hey,
Zoom Bomber official.
What's up, everybody? Michael McQuarrie. I've been founded DC News 90. I do Hip Politics with Cameron. The usual suspects on little parties in the city and things like that. I'm a big Jill Scott. I'm always a Jill Scott. And I look at both of them, their personal lives are very, very different. Jill's been married 3 times, and Erykah has 3 kids by three Jay Electronica, and they write about it differently. They write about it. Jill has been hurt, and she writes about it. So I'm always going to be a Jill Scott fan. Erykah's also going to be Jill Scott.
What is how many people she got children got to do?
Or how many times she's been married?
What does that have to do with this?
Well,
that speaks directly to how you love. That just speaks directly to how you love. Let's not mince words.
Because I wanted to know that it doesn't do with politics or hip hop. But okay, carry on.
But anyways,
I love y'all. If I might be the diplomat here, I would say that they have a wealth of experience through which they can educate us and share how we can continue our lives.
Sexual liberation is sexual liberation. So
and freedom and our truth. And that's exactly the heat that they bring.
Yeah, that's the heat for inspiration.
And with that, Wakenya, can you introduce yourself, please?
I'm sure can.
And first answer the question, who won tonight? The question is, who won tonight, and who, if you could only be trapped on a desert island with their song music, who would it be?
Hands down for me, and it's a very tough decision for me, but it's Jill Scott. I will tell you.
Both?
But for both. I am romantic. I love. I understand heartbreak. I understand her music, and it resonates with me. I love Erykah too. She does something different, but at a different time. You know what I mean? Like, for the most part, it's Jill Scott for me all day, every day. I think, again, that sultry, sexy, soulful sound is what I look for in music, and that's what she was giving to me tonight. I know her composition, the way that she structured her playlist might not have been appealing to people and may have lost folks if they are not true followers of her music, but for me, she did it. And if I'm stuck on an island, yeah, I'm gonna want to pull up on some Jill Scott. I don't want to necessarily go on a spaceship, but I might want to, rock a boat or two. So like that for me is like I'm rolling with Jill Scott on this note. And for folks who want to follow me online, you can do so on Instagram at politically sassy. That's
hey, politically sassy.
Hey y'all, at politically sassy on Instagram and at WJS Clanton on Twitter. I tend to do more like work-related political things on Twitter and more socially political things on Instagram. So you can follow me in either one of those spaces to check me out. So yeah.
Sanji. I said, first of all, yes. I love like this look. I love this look. And then just how you
it's very distinguished.
You put you well placed you're the only person like well placed the camera. How did I look this? I'm gonna be late because this joint gotta be set up.
My lighting.
So I'm gonna give you your time.
The folks were like lit and I was like, let me step my game up.
But you slipping because the candle's not lit. That candle over your left shoulder. You need to have a burning fire right there.
Incense.
No, but please go answer the questions.
No, I for who won, because I think Erykah Badu came, with guns blazing to a certain extent. She had aesthetically her Bruce Lee in the background. She had her playlist done. She had her echoes. She had all kinds of, different types of sound effects to go with her presentation. So it's because it was Jill's first time, and I love Jill Scott. But if I was to be stuck on an island, it would be, and R.I.P. to Andre Harrell and Little Richard, ending with a quintessential Jill Scott song has crossed my mind, which is one of my favorite Jill Scott songs. You know what I mean? And I think that's who I would have be on an island with listening to, because she's just very poetic and prolific with her words and what she says to you, and very uplifting. As you saw, it was like a reflection of love. Like, it just made you feel good. Like the whole energy that they brought to this. And it was the most prepared versus, if you guys, seen all of them, the ladies came prepared, period. Like it was
yeah. No. You must not have seen. No offense, and it's not no gender thing. It's just, to me, the best verses and the most prepared overall was T-Pain and Little John.
And
I saw that, but
questions had songs ready to go.
It was some issues
it's a different feel that they had going on as well.
It's a different feel, but they were prepared. They were prepared.
That's what they were on.
They were prepared. But I mean,
it was a lot of talk. It was a lot of, I don't know, a lot of dead energy there sometimes with them when they were doing the verses. Anyway,
fair.
So just to promote, Sanjay Loves, SONJIE Loves is my personal Instagram, and then my girlfriend and I, we launched a kind of a live IG that we do on Wednesdays at 6 o'clock, and it's called the COVID Award. So we kind of like do like a review of everything that's been happening since quarantine, because it has created a lot of ingenuity. Folks are doing a lot of creative things.
Like this.
In the house. Yes, like this. So, we highlight those folks and talk about different shows and different things that kind of, took our attention and getting people to kind of pay attention to what's going on. So check that out. You can follow COVID Awards on Instagram as well.
I'm gonna check that out. I've already checked it out, but I'm gonna continue to check it out. Yeah. And then last but certainly not least, my sister Alicia. What's up?
Hello, everyone. My name is Alicia. So in terms of who won, for me, it would be Erykah Badu. I just happen to identify more with her. And so I think if it was a deserted island situation, I would have to defer to Charmian, I think is how you pronounce your name. If I am wrong, I apologize. But your statement, if I'm alone or with somebody, because the vibe I think would be a little bit different. But overall, I would have to, if I had to choose one, it would be Erykah, hands down for everything. I do want to promote something that is incredibly important. So I am a lawyer here in DC and had the pleasure of being a past chairwoman for the GWAC Foundation, which stands for the Greater Washington Area Chapter of the Women Lawyers Division of the National Bar Association. We affectionately call her GWAC. However, we are giving away 2 $1,500 scholarships. One is called the Barbara E. Whiting-Wright Bar Assistance Award, and we have a COVID-19 Impact Employment Grant for law students. One $1,500 is for bar study for this fall, and the other one is for a law student who employment was impacted because of COVID-19. And so if you're interested, you can look for information about that on gwacdc.org and get more information applied. The deadline is May 22nd. In terms of socials, you can follow me on Makeup Travel Life on Instagram. And the
Makeup Travel Life. Makeup Travel Life.
Yes, all one word. And it's just to promote body positivity, makeup, plus size fashion, and then just travel.
And did she mention she was a lawyer extraordinaire? But anyway,
and came here with grants. Yes.
And came here with like, hey, I know what y'all promoting. Here's free money. Here's free money for a cause. Let me drop that on you bitches.
There are only 2% of Black women in the profession. And so it's incredibly important for us, especially those who are lawyers, and lean back and pull up the next generation so that we continue to be the people that we want to see and have the representation that we're looking for.
I appreciate that. Alicia, make sure you send me the link so I can like post that in the actual comments and stuff, so whoever watches it can click to that. I want to thank everybody. I could keep talking forever, but I'm trying to be respectful of time and space. And I got to go to church in the morning, even though I don't have to drive anywhere, but I got to make breakfast in church and work out. This was a great conversation. This was very spur of the moment, but I know like these are two artists that helped change me and define me. And clearly based on you guys' different conversation and in everybody's opinions, like these are some very impactful artists. And this was a vibe. There was up to 700,000+ people at one point. This is something we all connected to, can talk on. There's after parties, there's these kind of platforms. It brought us back to a better time. And I think so much of their music connects to different specific periods of our lives. So I think this was just a great reminiscent time, whether you with somebody, hopefully, or even by yourself. Like they both connected to so many different levels of like the human experience. And like, so I'm just, the love fest that was tonight. This wasn't the official quote unquote battle, but it was good to hear these songs. It was good to see the presentation. I mean, we've all got critiques in which things could be a little better, but to me, I think that's almost what makes this whole Verzuz platform unique, is that we gotta add in, it's going to be a little late, a little bit off, but it was a vibe. Michelle Obama hopping in, all the different stars hopping in. Kenya, other friends were having Zoom calls, and people are having Zoom happy hours and wines and cheeses. So this was just a dope love experience, and I think it really connected so many people, and it connected the culture. I'm looking forward to the next one because they took this down. This is really special to my heart. Bone Thugs and Harmony versus 3 6 Mafia. That was about to happen because that's how even me wanting to do this was, because I had set up something because I heard Bone and 3 6, being from Cleveland and being a super 3 6 fan. I was like, oh, I got to get some people together to that.
Yeah.
And so they postponed it because they're going to do it on the Verzuz. So I'm assuming that's going to be the next Verzuz or within the next one or two. So we'll do another one of these battle breakdowns and get a dope panel together. But I just want to thank everybody and thank all you guys for spending some time, having great conversation, just connecting people. I know we're all isolated and alone, but this was just a good way like to have some love together. It was so good to hear your perspectives. So with that, thank you for everybody who streamed. Thank you for everybody who promoted, live stream. And thank all of you guys. I don't have any like official closing or anything, but I'm about to close that live stream. So thank y'all. Make sure y'all tune in to Hip Politics podcast to get the merch, hippolitics.org for one-stop shop everything. And with that, we out. Peace.
Thanks for having me.
Need to do